The Academy of Lies and Ignorance. 60 Shades of Lies and Ignorance. Introduction.
In a world saturated with competing narratives, fragmented truths, and shifting certainties, this book was born from the inner necessity of lucid engagement. The author, visual artist, and composer explores the mechanisms of lies and ignorance through 60 chapters, blending critical reflection, poetic insight, and aesthetic sensibility. The project emerged in the heart of the 21st century, an era shaped by hyper-information, algorithmic manipulation, growing distrust in institutions, and an unsettling crisis of truth itself. The project emerged in the heart of the 21st century, an era shaped by hyper-information, algorithmic manipulation, growing distrust in institutions, and an unsettling crisis of truth itself. This album book is addressed to all who doubt, question, or refuse to be lulled by the comfort of dominant narratives, citizens, thinkers, educators, artists, and the curious. It is structured as a journey. Each chapter delves into a domain:
Politics, science, love, language, etc.
where truths often overlap, sometimes to the point of indistinguishability. The author's visual artworks accompany this journey, not merely as illustrations, but as extensions of the questioning, distortions of meaning, or symbolic reflections. Each image is a threshold, inviting the reader to engage with the content, not only intellectually, but also visually and emotionally. This book was conceived in a hybrid space between an artist's studio, a cabinet of habitual curiosities, and a critical laboratory that offers no dogma, no final truth, only a radical invitation to see differently what we thought we knew.
Because in our time, understanding the lie may be the first act of clarity. The Academy of Lies and Ignorance.
Total art equals musical and poetic resistance.
This album book is addressed to all who doubt, question, or refuse to be lulled by the comfort of dominant narratives, citizens, thinkers, educators, artists, and the curious. It is structured as a journey. Each chapter delves into a domain: politics, science, love, language, etc., where truth and illusion often overlap, sometimes to the point of indistinguishability. The author's visual artworks accompany this journey, not merely as illustrations, but as extensions of the questioning, distortions of meaning, or symbolic reflections. Each image is a threshold, inviting the reader to engage with the content, not only intellectually, but also visually and emotionally.
Academy of Lies and Ignorance.
Chapter 1, the genesis of the lie, origins of human deception. Chapter 2, the architecture of ignorance, systems that shape blindness. Chapter 3, philosophy's disguises from Socratic irony to post-truth. Chapter 4, psychology of self-deception, the mind's need to lie. Chapter 5, institutionalized delusion, psychiatry and the politics of normal. Chapter 6, science and its shadows, objectivity, bias, and myth. Chapter 7, the bureaucratic failed forms without soul. Chapter 8, political fictions, truth as strategy, not virtue. Chapter 9, education is indoctrination, but knowledge becomes obedience. Chapter 10, held as illusion, medical authority and the fear of death. Chapter 11, media as mythmaker, narratives that construct belief. Chapter 12, technology of forgetting, digital amnesia by design. Chapter 13, economic narratives, the moral myths of the market. Chapter 14, cultural lies, beauty, art, and the curated soul. Chapter 15, legal language when justice becomes performance. Chapter 16, religious masks, sacred truths, and holy lies. Chapter 17, language, the original illusion, words as prisons. Chapter 18, memory and manipulation, the fluidity of the past. Chapter 19, fear as a tool, governing by anxiety. Chapter 20, hope as control, the seductive lie of optimism.
The Academy of Lies and Ignorance. The Academy of Lies and Ignorance. 20 chapters. Chapter 21, Silence is Complicity, What We Refuse to Say. Chapter 22, The Lie of Objectivity, The Invisible Subject in Every Game. Chapter 23, The Ethics of Lying, Necessary Evils or Moral Rot. Chapter 24, Children of Deceit, Innocence is Propaganda. Chapter 25, Education, Second Layer, Hidden Curricula of Conformity. Chapter 26, Surveillance and Trust, Watching Replaces Believing. Chapter 27, Consent Manufactured, The Illusion of Free Choice. Chapter 28, The Aesthetic Trap, Beauty as a Mask for Power. Chapter 29, Symbols and Mythology, The Archetypes of Obedience. Chapter 30, Fiction as Revelation, The Honest Lie of Literature. Chapter 31, The Disappearing Individual, Mass Identity and Ego Dissolution. Chapter 32, Resistance in Silence, Non-Action as Rebellion. Chapter 33, Ethical Imagination, Rebuilding from Awareness. Chapter 34, Toward a Poetic Truth, Living Between Myth and Meaning. Chapter 35, The Library of the Forgotten, A Sanctuary for Lost Knowledge. Chapter 36, Whispers in the Archive, The Truth's History Tried to Burn. Chapter 37, Sacrifice of the Honest, What Truth Tellers Suffer. Chapter 38, Art as Witness, Parody as Survival. Chapter 40, Awakening Without Answers, Liberty as Survival. Chapter 40, Awakening Without Answers, Lucid Living in an Uncertain World. The Academy of Lies and Ignorance. Total art equals musical and poetic resistance.
The Academy of Lies and Ignorance. The Academy of Lies and Ignorance. Part 3, 20 chapters. Chapter 41, The Final Curtain, Deconstruction of the Self. Chapter 42, Elegy for Truth, Mourning What Never Was. Chapter 43, Path Between Lies, Moments of Stillness. Chapter 44, The Infinite Library, where all lies and truths coexist. Chapter 45, Fragments of a New Ethic, Notes from the Broken Mirror. Chapter 46, The Philosopher's Last Lie, Even Wisdom Deceives. Chapter 47, Refusal and Grace, How to Not Play the Game. Chapter 48, A Sacred Ignorance, The Holiness of Not Knowing. Chapter 49, One Honest Word, The Risk of Sincerity. Chapter 50, The Unwritten Book, Leaving Pages Blank on Purpose. Chapter 51, The Language That Forgets Itself Beyond Names and Meaning. The Academy of Lies and Ignorance. The Academy of Lies and Ignorance. Total art equals physical and poetic resistance. Total art equals physical and poetic resistance. Total art equals physical and poetic resistance.
The Academy of Lies and Ignorance. 60 Shades of Lies invented by Frédéric Iriarte. In a world saturated with competing narratives, fragmented truths and shifting certainties, this book was born from an inner necessity and lucid engagement. Frédéric Iriarte, visual artist and author, explores the mechanisms of lies and ignorance through 60 chapters, blending critical reflection, poetic insight, and aesthetic sensibility. The project emerged in the heart of the 21st century, in an era shaped by hyper-information, algorithmic manipulation, growing distrust in institutions, and an unsettling crisis of truth itself.